Hey, fragrance friends, you know what time it is. You've been waiting, you've been ready for this list. You've been asking, Ben, which fragrances do you want to smell? Which fragrances do you love for the fall? Which fragrances are you into? So here I am to share with you my favorite fall, top 10 fragrances. Feel free in the comment section below, of course, to share your favorite fall fragrances. But let's jump into the list and not waste any time. You know what to do down below if you want to support this channel, if you do decide that you like my content. But here we go. The first one is from the house of Armaf. It's Boise Luxura. If you haven't tried this one, it's a really nice violet citrus, and compared to Fahrenheit Summer, I believe they say this is kind of a clone of that very discontinued, very expensive fragrance. So I have a little bit less of a problem with it, but really nice fragrance, refreshing and confident. It has a little bit of sage, so if you like that, if you love your Bentley Intense and fragrances like that, Bentley from Intense, you might like this one. So great value on the market. I am going to start a little bit more affordable, and then we're going to get to some expensive and sometimes hard to find stuff. So no niche list this year, no list in particular for designer and niche, but my winter list, I am telling y'all, going to give y'all fair warning. We will be getting to the into some of the deeper, the heavier fragrances, of course, for the winter list coming up. But the next one is Pasha. This is, Cartier. This is their Pasha Noir version. Now, this is the limited edition, so it looks a little bit different. It just smells maybe at slightly higher quality. It's really about the same. And this is for y'all, for you people out there who love mass appealing citrus fragrances. You love that Italian citrus, but you want a very mass appealing and easy to understand smoky quality, easy to wear smoky quality, with a little bit of spice and some class. You definitely got some class in this one, Pasha de Cartier, the Noir version. And I didn't think I was going to like this fragrance that much. I took a risk on it, heard very few reviews on the limited edition and this one, and I'd seen some good things, and it's not the strongest performing fragrance, but for a mass appealing fragrance, I have to say that this is one of my new favorite designer fragrances. So check that one out. Cartier, knows how to make a good fragrance. So next one is Enrico GI. I don't know if y'all saw my review back in the day, but this was one of the best hidden gems. I still think that there might be a few bottles out there, but there's not a lot of them. The supply is almost completely dried up on these. And this one's called the Oud Nobile. There's very little to almost no oud in these. This is a very fancy resinous fragrance. There's definitely some spice and some incense, but this is fancy and elegant and warm at the same time. Oud Nobile. Called Nobile for nobility. It's supposed to smell fancy. So there are some well-rounded musky overtones to this, but very well done, very well composed. I think there's a little bit of patchouli snuck up in there as well. So don't, for the value for what you're getting out of this, outstanding. If you can find it for a good value for the price, $35 odd. Used to be able to find these for really close to about 20 odd bucks. Some of the best bang for your buck, fragrances out there. So this next two fragrances are going to be semi-indie. You might have to go online to get these. This one is Mahariz by El Herbalario from Italy. Also very high quality for the money for what you're paying. Usually 60 odd dollars, and I do believe it's a 50 mil. This one is compared to Musk Ravageur, so lots of cloves, cinnamon, spices, and it has some vanilla. It's very comforting. This smells like Christmas. It smells like the holidays. This smells like cinnamon and cinnamon buns and all that beautiful stuff that you can imagine. But this is about the most holiday-esque fragrances, spice-wise, that I've ever smelled, besides Home for the Holidays by Happy Land Fragrances. So beautiful fragrance here, Mahariz. Really a showstopper, a fragrance that changed my world, and the quality, again, the quality for the money for what you're paying, outstanding. I'll never forget about this fragrance, and I treasure it. I don't, as you can tell, I don't spray tons of it, but this is reserved for special holiday days for me when I want to be cozy and comfortable around friends and family. So beautiful fragrance. The next one is called Myrrh and Incense Mysterieux. I believe that's how you say it, from the House of 100 Bon. This is a French house, very natural, so you get very natural ingredients for a very affordable price for what they're giving you, and very beautiful fragrance. And so this is a little bit of a deeper, not particularly dark, but heavy, and a little bit more of a complex incense fragrance. But it's not overtly sour or anything. There's actually cardamom, and there's a lot of sensuality to this fragrance. I find it very attractive and comforting. It definitely has a little bit of that satin sheet vibe that I tend to like in fragrances. So it has seductiveness, and it has charm, and it has a lot of the qualities I look for in a fall fragrance. So it's uplifting, it's airy, and it's spiced, and it does, kind of add to the feel of fall in a very beautiful way. So love that fragrance for the fall. So happy that I found it. Another one I wanted to share with y'all is Oud Malaki from Chopard. Chopard, when these fragrances came out, you used to be able to get these for 55, 60 odd dollars. Bang on, amazing value. Told everybody, hopefully some of y'all listened. Amber Malaki, I think, got much more popular than the Oud, but there's very little Oud in this fragrance. And very nice, well done fragrance. It's actually more of an amber fragrance than anything. Very little of the Oud. It's more of a plantation, a modern oud, just as a supporting note. Not very animalic at all. We will be getting to an animalic couple at the end of the video. But this one, very well-rounded, beautiful grapefruit. Some of the best grapefruit I've ever smelled in any fragrance. And simply a well-done creation, very well-composed from Chopard. And I look forward to maybe trying some more in the future of these if I can get my hands on them. Sometimes they're not the easiest to get, but they're usually not too expensive for what they are. There's some good deals on them, so highly underrated. The supplies of some of them have dried up, but looking forward if there's going to be more released in this collection. So the next fragrance is a Prestige from the house of Primera Fragrances. This is more of a kind of like a chocolate fragrance, but it's also very leathery and it's modern. And again, the chocolate isn't a heavy, gooey, rich chocolate. It's more of like almost a dry cocoa powder, and I do like that. There are some chocolate fragrances out there, and I do like gourmands, and I guess you could say this is a gourmand, but it doesn't go as dense, or it doesn't go for caramel. It's not as heavy or rich and dense. This is much more airy, and for fall days, sometimes that maybe get a little bit warmer, or when you want something that still has a little bit of movement. It's not super, maybe not so cold in your fall day. This is one that has great performance. It stands up, and I think it has a good quality about it. It's also fairly sensual, and I'm finding that I either like fragrances, again, to be sensual or classy. That's what I like to wear. That's how I like to feel with a lot of my fragrances, and that one's great. The next one is Montal Oud Leather. This one did kick Polo Supreme Leather out of its spot. That fragrance is still great. It's still, but it's getting hard to get, and I didn't really want to mention it on this video, because simply it's getting hard to get, and I do feel like this is the better fragrance for the money, because the price is kind of sticking around $80+ for the Supreme Leather by Polo. This one, the Oud Leather, you can find it out there for the same price, maybe even cheaper, and the quality for what you get as far as leather goes, one of the best leather fragrances for the money, especially if you can find it for less than $80. This is one of those that if you get lucky, you might be able to find it. I've seen some of these like this out there as low as $55 odd, which is crazy, especially when you consider that these retail for $180 plus, which is honestly overpriced, but still considering $55 that's a great value. And really nice fragrance, Oud Leather. This is my leather jacket fragrance. This is for when I want to, make a really good first impression for the fall. This is something I might wear to a festival, a corn maze, or just like a party where you're going to meet a bunch of new people, not just family and friends. So the next fragrance, we're getting to our hidden gems and our really expensive fragrances. This one is a little bit more expensive, not terribly so, but is going to be discontinued. For you vintage lovers who like the chase and want to find something hard to get, this is something you might want to put on your radar. This is called a Zahari from the house of Faydon. I blind bought this, and somebody was liquidating this out of their collection or something. I don't know why they didn't like it, but boy golly do I like it. This smells like Portuguese. This smells like a fine, rich, balsamic, woody, earthy wine. And then you get that additional earthiness with this dark, textured, earthy quality. Not for everybody, but again, I do find it fairly wearable. The wine quality out this is addictive. To me, it's an aphrodisiac. And it's got a little bit of spice and some nuances, but it's really about that wine and that rich, dark, velvety, earthy quality. And it's also got some Middle Eastern inspiration from Zahari. It has some dates in it, some dried dates, which is a a certain type of fruit. So definitely some fruitiness going on here, but in a dark, complex, earthy way. So that's Zahari. Going to be very difficult to find if you can find it at all, and it's not cheap. This is Faydon. Really good quality house for what you're getting. The last fragrance on my list here, again, I do have many other niche. You're probably wondering where they are. They're going to be more in my winter list, but this is the fall list. And this one is Monte Cristo. And when I smelled this one from Mosque Milano, one of the best niche houses out there on the market right now, really blew me away. This is all for the animalic fragrance lovers. If you like that dry, papery, papyrus type of vibe, if you like animalics and musks, and also a drier, more airy tobacco, if you like any of those types of notes or that feeling to a fragrance, this is gorgeous. This reminds me of terracotta. It reminds me of like a hot, kind of like a hot day. Funny enough, it's a fall. You know, I like to wear it in the fall, but it reminds me of a hot day. Maybe lots of like sweaty, hardworking people, and you know, and somebody decide to take a break, go inside. Maybe they have a cool like cave. If you've ever went to Italy or seen any of the pictures of Italy, they have some of these houses made of like stone and terracotta. Not terracotta, but you know, kind of pieced and put together. It's very unique, and it keeps things very cool, like their wine and all that good stuff. And this reminds me of somebody just taking a break and maybe drinking, you know, some wine, taking care of that. So taking it easy. So Monte Cristo also brings me back to the movie Count of Monte Cristo, and I feel like this is a very done well fragrance. So if you like sandy vibes and fragrances, this isn't particularly sandy, but it's similar. And if you love animalics again and semi-dry fragrances, this is definitely one to try. And a very powerful musk, a very powerful animalic fragrance. A little goes a long way. This is one that I certainly would not overspray. And this house is known for being very powerful, you know, Mosque Milano. And it's a beautiful house. Ladies, definitely try Tango. And there's some other ones certainly worth exploring. If you haven't explored that house, my goodness, you need to. So my friends, I have a question for you. Which fragrance sounded the best to you? And again, I tried to share some cheapies at the beginning of the video. These are very affordable fragrances in the beginning. You know, your Boise Luxura, you can still find out there for $25, $30 odd dollars. And some of these are still, you can find out there for a good price. The 100 Bon and the El Herbaleo, you can find these around $50, $55, $60 odd dollars, and they're absolutely worth the money. And some of these are going to be a little bit hard to get. They're not going to be at your local mall. They're probably not going to be at your TJ Maxx and your Ross, but that's also another reason. Because I had to search for these. I guess I love the investment and the time I put into finding them, finding something exactly that I wanted. And they're a little bit less known, so I guess it makes them feel a little bit special. Anyways, let me know which one sounded the best, and again, what are your favorite fall fragrances? I'd love to know in the comment sections below. I hope that you enjoyed my top 10, where I give you authentic, you know, fragrances. I don't pick and choose the most popular fragrances. I'm not snipping in Aventus or Sauvage and fragrances like that to get hype. And certainly there are great mass appealing fragrances out there. Pure Access Night is one that more people need to try and get onto. This year, Jean Paul Gaultier Les Parfums, the new version, the Parfum version, is absolutely worth trying. It's not overtly creative, but it's still a great designer fragrance, and it's starting to come down maybe a little bit in price. And so you could certainly get away with your Acqua di Gio Profumo and some good things like that. Absolute Instinct, also for you woody gentleman fragrance lovers, certainly a good one. So I'll see you next time, everybody. Hope that you enjoyed this video. You know what to do down below if you want to support this channel. And hopefully I shared something new, something exciting, something different. And that's what my channel is all about. Sharing what I love and helping you smell amazing. So have a beautiful day, everybody. I will see you in the next video. I upload Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody. Have a beautiful day. And bye.